Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lexi. As you can see, Austin is not with me here today. I'm gonna do something very awkward for myself. I'm absolutely terrified. I don't think I've ever actually sat down and done a video on our channel, just me, myself, talking, so this should be interesting. I am here to give my side of the story of what has happened over the last 3 years. I have a lot of things that I have been keeping in that I need to get out. So just a quick recap if you don't know what happened. Last year, Austin posted a little video of himself explaining why we were taking time off from social media, why we were taking a little bit of time away from each other, which let me say, we only took 10 days apart. 10 days, okay? He went to New York, I stayed here, we were still texting, we were still calling every day. Like, we just needed space to breathe. Nobody is breaking up. Get that out of your heads. If you see anybody commenting that, just tell them, no, it's never going to happen. We are not breaking up. We are still together. Completely, just don't. No, 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 no. So when Austin posted that video last year about how we were taking time off, he kind of explained that he was struggling mentally with the relationship between him and his dad. And I don't want to dwell on this. I don't want to keep talking about it, but people still have so many questions. Whenever we post on any place that isn't YouTube, people think that we're broken up. People have no idea what's going on. And it just like, we have to keep talking about it to make sure that people understand. When Austin posted that video last year, that was kind of supposed to be our fresh start. We expected to get a lot of things off of our chest, to just be like, okay, here's what's happening, here's what we're gonna do about it, and we're gonna come back super strong. That was the plan, that was the goal. Little did we know that it would literally blow up in our faces so much that the last year that we've been taking time off, I think has been the worst year of my life. Like, I'm not even joking, you guys. It's literally been the worst year of my life. It really is because of the relationship between Austin and his father. And it's so touchy for me to even speak about this at all because I love his family. I would like, they're gonna be my family. I would never do anything to hurt them or say anything bad about them. I know this has mostly been about Austin and his dad, but a lot of it has affected me in ways that I did not think was ever possible. I really need to get some things out because what I've seen happen to Austin and what has happened to me pretty much because of their relationship, it's not normal, it's not healthy. The chronic stress, like my hair was literally falling out. Although you guys have only known about this for like a year, this has been happening and I've watched it get progressively worse since Austin and I started dating. Before we were even together, we were just friends. I distinctly remember one day Austin coming up to my room and just crying, like bawling his eyes out. Sorry, Austin, if you're seeing this, I'm outing you, but he came to me and he literally just cried about how much like he missed his mom and how much he wanted his dad to like be there for him and how he didn't feel supported, he didn't feel loved. And like I literally was just listening to like the sweetest man ever, and I should have known from there how bad it was gonna be, but I didn't think it could get worse, and it got 15,000 times worse. So many of the details, like so many of like the tea that I want to actually tell you, I can't tell you because like I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get in trouble with Austin's family. I don't even, So before I get into a lot of like the present details, let me take you back 3 years ago. We started posting in 2020. Austin's mother had passed away in 2018. I can't really speak on Austin and his dad's relationship before I came into the picture, but even in 2020, I noticed something wasn't right. We blew up online really fast in 2020. I was giving 150% effort every single day trying to get content out absolutely everywhere. Austin was really mentally caught up in the relationship with his dad that he couldn't bring himself to work every day. At this point, I think it was a lot of just like verbal abuse from his father. I just watched those words, that verbal abuse, I watched it destroy Austin. Like I watched it kill his self-esteem. Imagine just hearing the worst things that you think about yourself from your parent. His father unfortunately never really understood mental illness. I don't think that he could recognize Austin's anxiety. I don't think he could recognize his depression. I don't think that he saw Austin struggling, and I wanted him to be okay. So for 2 years, I did everything. And It really sucks because obviously Austin contributed so much to the channel. He is the channel. He is the reason why, like, we are so loved. But he couldn't be there to edit 2 YouTube videos a week. He couldn't be there to edit 5 TikToks a week. He didn't understand how to make a proper Instagram post. Like, it wasn't his fault that he didn't understand. And I loved him so much, and I did everything. Every piece of content that you saw probably for the last 2 years, I put out. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot of work, but it was. I lost connection with my friends. I lost connection with my parents. I wasn't going out and doing things that I liked anymore. I was sitting in front of my computer for 8 hours a day, just staring at the screen, trying to make sure that we would be okay. And that he wouldn't have to worry about it. And this is not me outing him. I have spoken to Austin about this. This is not me outing him because it wasn't his fault. And it completely burnt me out. I have no idea how to look in a camera and speak anymore. Like, I want you to know this is probably like the 5th time I've shot this. Posting so much for so long and like playing that character, although it was us on screen, like you're seeing us, it still feels like it's not real in a way, and it completely warped my entire perspective on myself. I lost all my confidence. I can't even look at myself anymore. Like, I feel like I've become an introvert, and we got into this cycle of neither of us could help one another. Like, I couldn't help myself, Austin couldn't help himself, I couldn't help him, he couldn't help me, and we realized, okay, we need to breathe. And that's why we took time off. What sucked the most was that I inserted myself. I inserted myself as the middleman. At the time, I thought it was a good idea because when Austin and I started dating, I thought of myself as very level-headed. I like to use logic and reasoning. I like to be super mature. If you have an issue with me, like, let's sit down, tell me what is wrong, and let me know what I can do to make it better. Like, that has always been my thing. And I thought that I could use that to my advantage. I want to say like 2020, 2021, whenever we were in instances with Austin and his father and there would be an issue, like I could literally step in the middle and say, no, like both of you stop it. And there were times that I would look at Austin's dad and be like, hey, quit it. And he'd be like, okay. And I would look at Austin and be like, hey, quit it. And he would be like, okay. So for a while it worked, and Austin's dad and I would have conversations. I have sat with him multiple times one-on-one and said, let me help you. Let me know how I can talk to him for you. Like, let me help. And little did I know that that would make me the villain. One day it was actually last year, I think it was during Coachella, Austin's dad had texted me, and that is when the shift in my relationship with his dad changed, because he started speaking to me the same way that he speaks to Austin. And you can actually watch last week's YouTube video. That message from his dad that he read aloud was one of the messages from Coachella, like that morning at Coachella. After Coachella week, that's when he started verbally abusing me. He started verbally abusing my family. He had listed a bunch of things that he didn't like about me, and then at the end of the email said, what a woman. That's my personal favorite. So it was like after so many years of trying to like help both of you, help your son, I'm really going to be a terrible person. He used the word manipulative. He used the word abusive toward me, that I was being those toward Austin. And I have I'm getting riled. He made me feel like I wasn't good enough to be with Austin. He had said things about myself that made me question who I even was. I've never even heard some of the things that he said about me before. I've never been called those things. I've been called a lot of things, but I have never been called some of the things that he said. I think one of the things that I can't seem to get over, and it's like, I don't really hold grudges, but for some reason I simply cannot move past this, When we first moved here to Massachusetts, we came from New York. His father used to be in a relationship that did not work out, but they also used to be in New York. When his dad and the girlfriend had separated, there was complications with Austin's family dog, Lucky, who had no place to go because his dad was moving out, they were separating, there was just a lot of stuff going on. So what we did was we took the dog with us temporarily until Austin's dad was ready to take him back. And what happened was he never took the dog back. He stayed with my family, has been there for 2 years now. Austin's dad never reaches out, does not reach out, does not call to see how he's doing. It is as if that dog never existed. I have tried to call Austin's dad and say, hey, I'm not the enemy here. Let me help you. He has screamed at me, blocked me. He literally hung up on me. I wish I could tell you everything. I wish I could tell you what he has said to Austin in those emails. Terrible, terrible things. Wishing harm on him, wishing harm on me. And honestly, I'm afraid of him now. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of closure by talking about it, but it's not gonna stop. It hasn't stopped. And I've never seen behavior like this from an adult ever. There's nothing for us to do anymore. Like, we've done everything, we've tried to do everything. He will not stop. And it's even worse because if I say one thing wrong, Austin's entire family could hate me. But at the same time, nobody asks about how it's affected me. And I know that sounds selfish. It is in a way, it really is, but it makes me feel so defeated because like I see everybody online talking constantly about how Austin has given, how he simps for me so much and how he does everything for me, and the amount of people that say, what do you do for him? You don't do anything. I literally feel like I have given him all that I can. Not to be that person right now, but this is the only job I've ever wanted. Well, not this job, but I've always wanted to make movies, and I cannot believe I got this close. And why I'm trying so hard is because I really don't want to give that up. And don't look at that as I care about the job more than I care about Austin. Like, no. To have that career and to do it with the love of my life is literally all I've ever wanted. And I will be damned if somebody takes that away from me. When you guys keep asking us, like, why aren't you getting married? Why aren't you proposing? This is why. It's not that we're not ever going to get married. It's not the right time right now. I think that if this situation with his dad didn't happen, we would have been either engaged and or married by now. We have so many things that we need to clean up right now because of him, and we gotta try to balance that and coming back to social media. I'll be honest with you guys, it's been so hard to come back to social media. I cannot even look at myself in the viewfinder, and it hurts because you guys come to us to like have fun and laugh and smile, and we want nothing more than to give that to you. But do you know how much it sucks trying to give that and having that like fake smile on your face, that fake laugh, and it's just like all we wanted to do was die. Like for the longest time I feel like I've been behind the camera, but for once I feel like I actually want to try to get in front of the camera. I want people to know who I actually am instead of just the Simp King's girlfriend who he simps for all the time and who does nothing in the relationship. I know people care about me, but I don't feel like they do, which is what makes it so hard. Austin and his dad went no contact, and it's been that way for the last couple months. We're still cleaning up the mess. For the first time in a long time, I actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. But over the next couple months, I'm really hoping that you guys see growth. I'm really hoping that you guys see change. You guys see the old us, because we want to be the old us. If we're a little late, if you see people confused in the comments, if you want to help us, just tell them what's going on. You don't need to like make a whole summary or like, you know, break your thumbs typing up everything, but I just want people to know that we're coming back, we're not breaking up, and we're okay. I know we can do it. I know that I'm not what Austin's dad says I am. I know that I'm a good girlfriend. I know that I show up for Austin, and I know that Austin can show up for me. He is the Simp King. He's always been the Simp King. He is still the person that will run out of the house if I need anything at any given time. He is still the person who will wake up at 6 a.m. and go get me a coffee. And if the coffee comes back a way that I don't like, he will go all the way back and get me another one. He is still that guy. I just needed you guys to know a little bit of what happened from my perspective. I give you a little bit more of the tea, which I really wasn't supposed to give you, but I deserve to be able to say something. We love you guys. I love you guys. Please bear with me. Follow me on Instagram. Hopefully this has answered any last remaining questions. Obviously we're not trying to go into too much detail, but like, we really want you guys to know why we are acting the way that we're acting. Say bye, Scooby-Doo. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.